Hey, if you're a nonprofit leader, you know all about the pressure of managing grants. But what if I told you that grant compliance, yeah, that thing you probably delegate, is actually the single highest stakes issue your entire organization is facing? Let's dig in. I hear this all the time from busy executives. It's a really common thought, right? Grant administration feels like a task for the finance team, a line item on someone else's to-do list. I mean, isn't that why you hire grant managers? To handle all that tedious paperwork?
Well, the blunt answer is a hard no. Grant compliance isn't just some chore you can hand off and forget about. It's a core leadership responsibility, and it comes with massive financial, legal, and honestly, strategic consequences. Look, while your frontline staff are doing the day-to-day work, if something goes wrong, the consequences don't stop with them. They roll uphill, right to the decision makers, and that means you. So let's talk about the very real threats that you, as a leader, simply cannot delegate.
First, let's get on the same page with a key term: disallowed cost. This is basically any expense that an auditor flags as improper or unallowable, according to the grant's rules. And here's the absolute crucial point. Grants are not gifts. They are legally binding contracts with incredibly specific and often tricky terms.
So when a cost gets disallowed, the government wants that money back. It's called a clawback. But here's the real kicker. You can't use other grant money to pay for it. Nope. You have to use your precious, hard-earned, unrestricted funds. You know, the money from your annual gala, from your individual donors. A single $100,000 mistake can wipe out a year's worth of fundraising and, no joke, could literally bankrupt your organization.
And this is where a simple mistake can turn into a legal nightmare. What you might see as just an accounting error could actually be seen as something much, much more serious. When you draw down federal funds, you are legally certifying that every single thing is correct. If it's not, you could be violating the U.S. False Claims Act. And saying, "Oh, I didn't know," is not a defense for an executive. You have a fiduciary duty, a legal obligation to know.
Okay, so beyond the immediate financial hit and the legal drama, there's a long-term risk that can be even more damaging. I call it the public Scarlet Letter.
Let's just walk through this domino effect. If your organization spends over $1 million in federal funds in 1 year, you're required to have what's called a single audit, and it's public. The findings get published online in a government database. Now here's the part people miss. Private and corporate foundations, they check that database. Any unresolved audit findings make you radioactive. One bad government audit and poison the well for all your future funding.
And let's bring it right back down to the day-to-day. Most government grants are reimbursements, right? You spend your own cash first, then you bill the government. So what happens if your team submits an invoice with a tiny compliance error? That reimbursement gets delayed. A 90-day delay on a $250,000 payment isn't the grant manager's headache. It's the executive director's crisis when it's time to make payroll on Friday.
Okay, enough of the scary part. Let's pivot, because this isn't just about avoiding disaster. In fact, good compliance is one of the most powerful offensive strategies you can have for unlocking some serious growth.
And the answer to that is a clear no. If you're only treating compliance as a defensive shield, you are missing a huge opportunity. It's time to start seeing it as a strategic sword. Get this, federal rules actually allow organizations with strong compliance systems to claim a standard 15% rate on their grants to cover indirect costs. We're talking about money for your overhead, your rent, your admin salaries, your IT. If you're not set up to claim this, you are leaving a massive amount of free money on the table. And this chart just illustrates the impact perfectly. I mean, look at the difference. That 15% isn't some small bump. It can represent tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars that go directly into strengthening your organization's core operations. It makes your entire mission more sustainable.
So, how do you actually get there? How do you build an organization that can both protect itself and capture these amazing growth opportunities? Well, it's not about you micromanaging receipts. It all starts at the top. Think about it. You can't expect a frontline staffer to succeed in a broken system. Only leadership has the authority and the budget to make these critical investments, like buying the right software or enforcing strong internal controls. These are leadership decisions. In fact, federal auditors specifically test for this. They call it the tone at the top, and it's literally a graded part of your audit.
This is honestly the best way to think about it. It takes a huge effort from your development team to win a grant, but all that amazing work is for nothing if your administration team isn't equipped and supported by you to actually keep that money. They're two sides of the same crucial coin.
So as a leader, you don't need to be in the weeds, but you absolutely have to be the architect of the system. The final question is your house in order to both protect what you've already won and to position yourself to win even more? If you want to explore how to build that solid foundation, we have a great free course available. Just search for Hibox for Nonprofits to find it, and you'll also get a free trial of our tools. Thanks so much for watching.